First off, welcome back to the channel. It's new and improved. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're joining us. And by us, I mean literally just me. If you've been following the page, if you've been subscribed to the page for a while, you might remember in the last few videos I've been saying literally every single time that I want to post more and that I want to be more consistent. And this is me attempting that. So stick with me because today's gonna be a fun video. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Today's literally just us going through some Criterions that I bought for the Barnes & Noble Criterion Collection half-off sale. Usually there's about 2 of these a year, and then Criterion does their flash sales online all the time. I'm gonna be honest, I've never bought from the flash sales online just because I don't know, I just like the fun of going in person to a Barnes & Noble and finding what I've been looking for. And here in Atlanta, there's only one location that I think really has the goods, like really every single time. But that's okay, because I got a lot of movies, and I actually think this is probably the biggest haul I've ever had when it comes to the Criterion sale. So for that reason, we're going to go through and we are going to talk about every single film that I picked up during the Criterion sale. Some of them I may not talk too much about, some of them I may go in depth about, but we'll see. I've got about 18 movies that I picked up. One of them is a box set, but yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about some cinema. And I actually went earlier today to pick up some more titles. I'm going to talk about the ones I got today, but I picked up Ghost World by Terry Zwigoff. I'm really excited to have this in the collection, mainly just because I did see this one about a year or two and surprisingly really liked it. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I didn't know much about it going into it, but I really enjoyed it, and I remember just seeing it in the collection, but I remember just seeing it as part of the selection today while I was at the store, and I just thought this would be nice to have as part of the collection. There's a poster for this specific movie available that I really like, and I almost wish that was the artwork, but also this is pretty nice. The second film I picked up today is To Die For, a Gus Van Sant film. Nicole Kidman is on the cover. Obviously, we got the Queen of AMC. We have Gus Van Sant, masterclass filmmaker. I have not seen this since I was in high school, I think. I really liked it when I saw it, and it just blew me away. I remember thinking that it was just really cool, and this was kind of at a time when I was really finding my taste in movies, and I remember watching Jerry, I remember watching Elephant, I remember watching just Last Days and that whole trilogy of movies that just sort of became its own thing. And this was one that I remember like thinking about a lot after I got done watching most of his work. There's another Gus Van Sant film that I have in the collection that I got, so we're gonna come back to that, don't worry. But To Die For on 4K, so excited to own this. I might rewatch it soon. Love me some Nicole, love me some Gus Van Sant. The second film I picked up from Gus Van Sant, and the third film in the collection that we're talking about, is Drugstore Cowboy with Matt Dillon in it. I don't remember if I actually liked this or not. I remember seeing it again like in that same time whenever I was watching To Die For and Elephant, and just thinking that Gus Van Sant was just a really strong filmmaker. I want to say that I like this. Matt Dillon is obviously just an incredible actor, but also Gus Van Sant is a filmmaker. I can't imagine that I didn't like this, but I don't remember really anything about it other than some of the elements that we see on the cover there. Funny enough, I actually do remember seeing like an in-print copy Blu-ray of this movie like 2 or 3 months ago before this got announced, and I saw it at a used media store of some sort, and I didn't buy it thinking like I would come back and find it eventually, and then the next day when I went to go back to get it, it was sold. So I'm glad to see that this is finally in the collection, 4K as well, so I'm excited to just watch this again, to be honest with you. Love me Gus Van Sant once again, love me some Matt Dillon, just a young Matt Dillon as well, 1989, wow. I also just love the artwork to this, by the way. But yeah, moving on. We've got Being John Malkovich, a Spike Jonze film. What is there to say about Spike Jonze, man? Like, this is an insane movie to begin with. I just like John Malkovich. It's been a very long time since I've seen this. Again, kind of one of those movies that I watched when I was just out of high school trying to get deeper and deeper into film. I remember really liking the film Her that he did in like 2013 and just being really moved by it. And so I thought I'd just seek out the rest of Spike Jonze's films. This ended up just being one of them that I found, and I really liked it. I still do. John Malkovich as an actor, and just the concept for this movie overall is just crazy. So I'm glad to own this. Glad to finally have it in the collection. With my luck, I'm willing to bet that this probably gets a 4K sometime soon, but who knows. We're also watching Opus earlier this year, which like the film was fine, but I remember just seeing John Malkovich on screen and just thinking like, wow, I miss seeing John Malkovich in movies. Even in that crappy Aragon movie that he's in, he is still the best part of that entire film. being John Malkovich, excited to own this. More importantly, excited to rewatch this. So hopefully that's going to be done soon. Coming off a Best Director win and a Best Picture win, we have Prince of Broadway, a Sean Baker film. I actually do remember posting a video about this wave of Criterions that was coming out, this specific movie, and just the fact that it was getting a Blu-ray to begin with. And I just love the release that this film has to begin with. The fact that it even has a Criterion copy available, that it's even on physical media, is just really cool to see. I know that there have been discussions of there being other Sean Baker films in the Criterion collection, such as Starlet in his first feature film. I'm excited to have this. Takeout I already have. Nora I bought before the sale happened, so this doesn't really count. One thing that really caught my attention the minute I opened this was the Blu-ray disc that this has, the art for it, because it just feels very reminiscent of the fact that this film is about this guy selling pirated films. These are kind of the discs that you would get with them, and it reminds me a lot of the disc that you get for Borat along with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I just think it's fun when labels and studios have fun with their disc artwork, and this is one of the better ones I think we've had in a while, so this is really cool to see. Excited to rewatch this. I did actually just rent it before the official release, so I just watched this recently. Great film. I'm happy it's part of the collection. Let's move on. Next up, we have two films from director Terrence Malik. First up, I picked up Badlands from 1973 and The Thin Red Line from 1998. I got both of these mainly just to finish off the Terrence Malik collection. I did already have Tree of Life and Days of Heaven, and I'm sure there's others that I'm missing. But usually for every sale that there is with Criterion, I try to pick one filmmaker and just make sure that I have all of their films that are in the collection. So for example, I think one of the sales, I think I got all of the Wes Anderson films. The last sale, I think I tried to get all of the Scorsese films, but I failed because I couldn't find a few. I'm excited. I have both of these now. I've seen both of these and just excited to come back and revisit The Thin Red Line more than ever. It's been a long time since I've seen it. It's also almost 3 hours long, and I do like a good long movie. So there's that. This next one is sort of a blind buy. I really know little to nothing about it. I know little to nothing about the story. It is an adaptation of a novel. We have War and Peace from 1966. I bought this solely after seeing images of this film online. I remember thinking that it looked like a Renaissance painting, and I think that's absolutely the look it's going for. It's very intimidating. It is about 422 minutes long, and I do plan to sit down and watch this just over like the scope of like a week, hopefully soon. But yeah, I'm super excited to check this out. I'm also super intimidated by it because it just looks like a lot, but I don't know. I've never read War and Peace. I also don't know anything about the story. I did talk to a few people who have seen it, and they said it's very good. So this is one I just saw online, and luckily just kind of lined up with the sale perfectly. So I'm glad to own it. This one also just comes with a massive poster inside the box, and there's an essay inside on the back of it. Most of these come with essays by Criterion. I'm sure you're probably aware of that. But yeah. Excited to have this. I'm really excited to watch this. I'm very intimidated by it. I'm almost scared to watch this. It's quite lengthy, but I did just say I like long movies, so that's on me. Next up, we have The Wages of Fear. I solely bought this because I just watched Sorcerer, and I know that that is an adaptation, a remake of the same story. I'm excited to check this out, mainly because of that. I loved Sorcerer quite a bit, and I unfortunately did not get that for this sale because I just bought the Blu-ray like the week before that was announced. Maybe next sale, but for the time being, we will visit The Wages of Fear. I've not seen this. I'm excited too. It just felt very fitting. I may end up getting William Friedkin Sorcerer on the next sale, but for now, I'm fine with just the Blu-ray. I don't need to revisit that for a while, but for the time being, I'm expecting it to be good. I hear lots of great things about this film, but yeah, very excited. This is the 4K as well, so have that to dive into. Like I mentioned earlier, the last sale, one of the last sales, I was trying to get all of the Scorsese films and I did not achieve that. This sale, I got Mean Streets. I still don't have all of them from the Criterion collection. I didn't get Raging Bull, but I already have the Blu-ray for that, so in a way, I've kind of achieved what I need to. I still need to get a few more, but we're still working on that. We're still getting through it. We're gonna get them all eventually, but for now, we got Mean Streets on 4K. I almost bought the Blu-ray for this as well, right before this one was announced about, like, I wanna say a few months ago, maybe a year ago. Yeah, I was so close to buying the Blu-ray for this. I love Mean Streets, and then this one just finally got announced, and I just held off on it. I was gonna get it on one of the last sales, but I'm glad to finally get it. I'm glad to finally own it. It's gonna go on the shelf with the other Scorsese films, so excited for that. When it comes to the last film that we have that's not a box set, we have Harmony Korine's Gumo on 4K. I'm actually pretty excited to revisit this. I didn't love this the first time I saw it, but Harmony Korine has such a weird style and such a weird way of making movies that I just keep coming back to for some reason. I don't know if I like his style or not. I did like Mr. Lonely quite a bit. I think that's probably his best film. I know a lot of people kind of see this as his magnum opus, but also it's a strange film. The theater that I frequent pretty often is going to be showing this on 35mm pretty soon. I think this weekend, so hopefully maybe I go catch that on 35mm. If not, I have the 4K right here. I can check it out. This is one of those movies I've been wanting to revisit since I saw it, and I really mean like revisit it, because I did not love it, but I keep coming back to Harmony Korine's work. So Harmony Korine's Gumo on 4K, glad to have in the collection. Now that we've kind of gone through most of the releases I got, I want to go through some of the box sets I picked up. You can kind of see what I got right there a little bit. If you know the spines, you kind of already know what I got here, but yeah, let's dive into it. We got Videodrome, a David Cronenberg film. One of the movies that I almost picked up before it hit the 4K. I almost got the Blu-ray for this, and I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. I held out. I actually just rewatched this as soon as I got it. I'm really excited to own this. David Cronenberg's Videodrome on 4K. I know that they just announced The Shrouds is also coming to the Criterion collection, so I'm gonna have that along there with it, hopefully, once that drops. Very cool. Love the artwork. I've always loved this artwork. It's so cool to see David Cronenberg's films in any capacity. Next up, we have Olivier Assayas's film, Carlos. This is technically a mini-series. I know little to nothing about it. I just really liked Olivier Assayas's Personal Shopper. One of those movies that I just keep coming back to. I'm always drawn to. Even though I haven't seen it, I always just am intrigued by what this could be. So something about the artwork on this, every time I saw it, I thought that this just looked really cool to me. I always was drawn to it, and finally was able to get it for the sale. So excited to watch this. I know that it's pretty long as well, 339 minutes. Not as long as War and Peace, but we have this to check out hopefully soon. I also do just like Edgar Ramirez, and I feel like we don't see him in anything anymore, so I'm excited to check this out, and I'm excited to see his performance, but also Olivier Assayas, just great filmmaker overall. Hopefully, I'll be checking this out soon. This next film is one that I've already seen. I'm glad I held out on it though, because it did finally get a 4K. We have Paul Schrader's Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters. I love the artwork for this. I love the case for it. It just is something that catches your eye every time. Even just looking at it now with like the light on it is so cool. I saw this again in high school along with other Gus Van Sant films. I remember just being blown away by this. I had a professor who showed this to me, and I just really was drawn to it when I saw it. I still think about it constantly. Anytime that someone brings it up, I'm like, wow, that is an amazing film. I need to rewatch it, and soon. And I've been saying that since I was like 16 or 17 years old. And yeah, I've always wanted to get the Blu-ray for this, and then just never did. And now it's finally on 4K, so maybe it's a good thing I held out. Very excited to watch this again. Very excited to revisit it, maybe on the 4K. I have an OLED screen in my bedroom, so maybe this is the move. But I also have a friend who works at a movie theater, and he's been talking about showing this forever. So maybe I wait, maybe I watch it in a proper setting, in a dark theater with my friends. Next up, we have the Katsi Trilogy by Godfrey Reggio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. But regardless, we have the Katsi Trilogy. I don't really know anything about these movies. I've had a friend who has mentioned this to me. I was on set for something about 2 weeks ago, and he just kept talking to me about how amazing this movie is and how amazing the sound is. And I just kept thinking about like how much he mentioned it the first time I met him, and I was just like, you know what, like, let's take a gamble. I don't know anything about them. They just look really interesting. Even just looking into these movies alone without the context of the Criterion collection, they sound like really interesting movies, and I think that's the biggest thing that drew me to this. I did want to pull these out of the slips just to show some of the artwork on this, because I mean, they're just really gorgeous artwork across the board. But yeah, I mean, this is really great stuff. I'm excited to check these out. They're all pretty far apart in terms of like when they were made, which is really fascinating to me. And yeah, I thinking about these movies, man, like they seem intimidating, but they also seem like just so full of wonder. Excited to check these out. I'm excited to own these. I'm excited to watch them most of all. And then last but not least, we have a film that is part of the Criterion collection. And I technically bought during the Criterion sale, but not at a Barnes & Noble. We have Robert Altman's Nashville. And This is out of print. This is the reason I mentioned that I didn't get it at Barnes & Noble. You can actually see that there's a sticker there that says out of print, as well as the sticker that says Amoeba from Amoeba Music in LA. Shout out to my friend Pat Brennan, who got this for me, because I have been looking everywhere for this, and I've been telling him for months, if he ever sees this thing, that he has to buy it and send it to me. He did. He did, sure enough. He texted me, and I sent him the money. He mailed it to me, and yeah. Now a proud owner of an out-of-print Nashville Criterion Collection Blu-ray. I've been looking for this one for years, and normally, I think maybe in any other context, most movies that are out of print, I will just go out of my way to buy it online. And this was like the one rare instance where I told myself, like, no, it has to be like in the wild. Someone has to come across it. They either have to find it for you or you got to find it yourself. And so for months, years, I've been telling myself I can't buy it. And I don't know if Criterion still has the licensing for this, but I know that there's probably a 4K coming. They just did a 4K restoration that hit theaters pretty recently. I unfortunately didn't get to go to it, but yeah. I don't know if this is getting a 4K in terms of Criterion putting it out, but maybe someone else will. I know that Paramount has their own Blu-ray out for it as well, but I just refused to buy that one. I wanted the Criterion Collection copy, so I got it. I'm happy now. I actually haven't even opened it, so are we gonna do an unboxing on camera? Are we gonna do it? Is this fucking happening? Let's unbox it. I told myself I wanted to save the opening for it for like when I actually want to watch it, but ooh, I'm opening it. I don't care. I have friends who own this, and I've never actually opened it to look at it. Gorgeous. Look at her. Look at her. She's gorgeous. Oh my god, look at that. Just gorgeous artwork on the discs. The inside is just awesome to see. I'm actually going to Nashville at the end of August too, so this is really cool to see. I also just love the city of Nashville. Just music everywhere. This is really cool to see. I guess that's it. That's the end of the video, isn't it? I'm really bad at doing like these outros, so I'm just gonna be as honest as possible. Thank you for watching. It means a lot that you would even just stop by to watch me talk about movies that I bought during a sale for a label that I really like. What is the best film in this haul that I got? And what is your favorite film in this haul that I got? Maybe someday I do a video where I just talk about all the Criterions that I own, because I definitely have more. Look at that shelf right there, dude. I have so many. Comment down below, let me know. I'll see you in the next one.